Air way too early for the fate. This that real game for real bros. No decaf, no cap. Welcome to Shogun Bros, no decaf. Live every weekday, 6:30 in the morning, Central Time. Did you hear what I said? Central Time. We talk dogs, bloodline building to yard work, from stud talk to the truth behind the pups. This ain't no highlight reel. It's how you really build legacy. Shogun Bros, no decaf. Pull up, pull up, handle yours. This ain't just content. It's culture. Welcome to the cookout with Toyo, where family vibes meet front porch truth. No scripts, no filters, just heart, heat, and hot plates. Ooh. Step up with elevated perspective, with elevated game for grown men and women building mind, spirit, and vision. And men at work with pimps over simps. Choice. Real convos, no cap, all purpose for the men behind the mission. 3 shows, 1 network, all gas, no decaf. Put no creamer in my man. Look, Shogun Unlimited, man. Press play and get man. Come on, press play, press play.
Yes, sir. We in here on a Monday, cooking up for the people. So, today we're just going to talk a little bit about yard maintenance and like doing things around your dogs easier. Basically, making things easier. Like running chainsaws or weed eaters or any of that stuff. I don't move my dogs to do that stuff around them. I just do it and they have to deal with it. Like when I'm weed eating, I usually weed eat a circle around their chain spot and I go backwards. That way I can tell them no, and they won't grab the head of the weed eater. That's the only way I can do it without my dogs grabbing the head of the weed eater. What's up, bro?
Huh?
I was talking about weed eating around dogs. A lot of the time people are weed eating, like the dog will try to grab the head of the weed eater. I've had my dogs grab the head of the weed eater and stall the weed eater out, grab it, and then the weed eater die because they killed it. But I mean, usually I just go backwards around the chain spot and I keep them back, and they don't even try to mess with it. But that's the only way I figured out that I can do it. If I go forward, they'll grab that weed eater head and stall it out every time. And I mean, that ain't too bad, but it's small things like that like, once you figure them out, it can make or break whether or not, your job is easier. Like if I invited a couple people up here, right? And I was like, you're gonna take care of them for a week, okay? That'd probably be the hardest week of your life. You know what I mean? If I just sat back on the porch and didn't tell you how to do it easier, like that would be the hardest week of your life. Just taking care of them down up on the hill. Throughout the wintertime, like, and having these dogs, it gets easier taking care of them and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you figure out little things, little tips and tricks to kind of make the job a lot easier. Like I used to carry water in buckets back in the day, like 5-gallon buckets. I carry 2 of them at a time. But now I kept these jugs that I can fill up, and like I carry them around on the hill up there, and I don't spill them, even if I slip and fall. You know what I mean? I don't spill water all over me. Little tricks like that. I mean, that stuff like that makes the job 10 times easier. When you're walking through their chain spot, like if you figure out how you can step on their chain to keep them from jumping on you, if you do that stuff enough, like a dog that's crazy to jump on you, if as soon as you step close to it, step on its chain and give it only enough to where it can barely jump up, it'll eventually quit doing that. Like you can break your dog from doing that stuff with small things like that, especially while you're like working, young dogs usually say I'm going to cut through their chain spot or whatever, and I got a rake. I'll usually just kind of hold it out towards them, and they'll kind of be like, what the hell? And then they'll just keep walking, and it don't even faze them. This is a lot of little tricks and little things that make handling them easier. I have never let a dog loose on accident and like taking the collar off, letting them out of the kennel. And I've been feeding bulldogs since I was 7 years old, and I've never had an accident that way. Mostly because I take and I clench them between my legs, and say I'm gonna take them on a leash. I hook the leash to the collar, then I undo the thing and undo the chain off of it, and then buckle it back up. And that routine right there, like, I never let a dog out at all. With the kennels, I always open the kennel door to the inside of the kennel. You know what I mean? If you go in it and you open the door in and say the dog tries to run out and you pull the door back shut, you'll pin them in the door. You know what I mean? And they can't go nowhere. Their natural reaction is to back up and go back in the kennel. That's just mostly their natural reaction. I mean, every once in a while you might find a dog that tries to go forward, but for the most part, their natural reaction is to go backwards when they're caught like that. So, if you go to like a big boarding kennel or any of that shit, anywhere, and I know of places that, like, there's one here, if you open the kennel door to the outside and they see it once on camera, you're fired. They'll fire you over that. They're pretty strict on certain things like that, like the handling, how you have to do it. I applied for a job there. They just didn't end up hiring me. I wish they would have, because I mean, I take care of dogs all damn day. It wouldn't have. That would have just been like living there. I don't know. It's stuff you figure out, like living with the dogs. Really, really living with them, because, like, taking care of them and living with them are two totally different things. You know what I mean? Like, I live with my dogs, and I consider it that because I'm out there like 70% of the wintertime outside with them, at least. I mean, that's freezing. So whether or not it's freezing, like, this winter my water froze for 3 weeks straight that last winter, and I carried water all the way from my spring for the dogs every day, and my spring's probably a football field up through the woods. And, like, as soon as I could get it thawed, I took the whole pipe that I ran my gravity feed system in, brought it in my house next to my wood stove, and that's the only reason I got my water back going. And a space heater underneath my house. But, like, you gotta water them. They can only live like 3 days without water. So, I mean, you gotta carry it. I was carrying it for them and putting water in their food. That's the only way you can keep them hydrated during that cold of weather. In the cold, I do things like I carry a hammer in the cold, and I'll just, every time I walk by, I'll bust their waters and stuff like that, just to keep them busted. I keep straw on deck. Straw is the most important thing you can have. As far as keeping them warm, keeping them warm enough to not shiver their weight off and all that stuff. Straw, putting it in there nice and thick. Your first year of dogs, like when you're really taking care of them, it's gonna seem like you go through straw like fucking crazy. But then the next couple years, you'll figure it out, like how much you actually need, versus just filling a barrel slap full and then tipping it back over for them. Because, like, there's a good amount that they need to stay warm, like about half of the barrel thick, and then they'll climb up in there and pat it down a little bit where they want it. If you're redoing your dog's barrel houses or whatever, cut the holes kind of small if you're in a winter area. My other house, my holes were cut because it wasn't that cold really like it is up here, even though I'm only 10 minutes away. It's a totally different animal right here than it was down in my other yard. It's shade all the time. They never get sun. You know what I mean? It's just I'm right next to a bunch of creeks, so it's super windy. Uh, it's a cold animal up here compared to my other house. And if I redid it, I would have cut my barrel holes a lot smaller. You know, that's why I'm gonna build the insulated metal barrel dog houses. It's because I can choose the size of the doors when I do that. Because I just the barrels are good enough, but I'm gonna do something extra. I already know it. It's hard to even though I know they're not cold, I checked them with a laser and everything. It's still I want them to have something better. I would prefer that. I'm gonna build a metal
Yeah,
barrel
man.
that is insulated that I can drive in the ground. That their automatic feeder will be bolted to and everything. Because by that time I'm gonna have they sell like 8-inch corrugated metal pipe, and I'm gonna buy that shit and I'm gonna cut each one of them probably like a 2-foot section and make permanent automatic feeders. Once I see how good these do, and the reason I'm kind of doing that, I'm kind of setting them up for the future by trying that because say we have that dog show in San Antonio, right? If I
Yeah.
have them all set up on automatic feeders and I'm gone for 3 days, no, the only thing somebody has to do is come up here and check and make sure nobody is tangled up. And for the most part, I can check that with my camera. You know what I mean? Like somebody really, they don't even have to come up here and look. Like I can look on my camera and tell you my dogs are all right. Watch every single one of them move. So I'm kind of setting them up for that, like being able to travel a little bit and stuff. I mean, automatic feeder is the only way. And asked me 2 years ago if I would have done an automatic feeder, and I'd been like, "You're dumb as shit." You know what I mean? I'd have been like, "There ain't no way." But now, I mean, I've tried it. Uh, it's not bad. It's really not. These dogs only like to eat so much anyway. So if you're feeding them, and I mean, you'll find one that's probably a food whore that gets really fat. You just kind of have to control that one's feed a little more. In my kennel setup that I'm gonna build, it's gonna have a thing where you can pull a thing and it'll drop one feeding's worth of food into a bowl. You know what I mean? Like right there in the corner. So and it'll be the same amount. It'll probably be like 6 cups. You know, it's a lot for most dogs, but at the same time, like if say my brother come up here and he pulled the thing, it'd feed all of them for him. The waters are going to be automatic, so I just want to limit it to where like I can be able to travel a little more, and it'd be easier on me and who has to take care of my dog.
Yeah,
Because
man.
most of the time, I mean, my mom will come up here and check them, but other than that, like we don't do no, they don't have to do nothing. I set it up where they don't have to do nothing, and I mean and like I said, if I invited you up here next week and was like you got to take care of them for a week, like that would be a shit week. I promise. If I just sat back and didn't tell you how to do it easy, that's why I kind of I want to limit the things my parents or anybody has to do if I leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was going one time, and my little sister just happened to be at my house, right? And she was about
hmm
16 at the time, and my Chinaman dog flipped out on a male dog I got and about killed him. And if she wouldn't have been there, I would have lost the dog. Like she got
Yeah.
in there and separated them, broke them off and separated them, and then I mean stuff like that. I'm trying to limit that where they don't even deal with that ever.
Yeah.
I've not had that many yard accidents, but when I did have them, they were bad. So,
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's just like you can do all the taking care of, the looking, and you're still gonna have something happen. We're only human, like Tom says. We're only human.
I think that's with any breed, though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
just our breed is a little more along the
Prone to the violence than
Well, it's more damage done. I think
Yeah,
it can be more damage done.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Uh, Other breeds deal with a lot of the same shit we do. We just don't realize it.
yeah,
Like they deal with a lot of the same stuff. Even like people hating on them because of what breed they have. Like that happens with Australian Shepherds. A lot of people hate them, because they can tend to be a little mean. Uh, I've seen people like, don't let your kid near that Australian Shepherd and stuff. And me know that this dog is good with kids. So like I've seen it in other breeds.
yeah.
It sucks that it has to be like that, but a lot of the time it's just people letting their dogs do stuff, giving them too much freedom.
Hmm.
I don't know when in this breed that we decided they need as much freedom as a human, because they
As
never
what?
used to. As much freedom as a human.
What these dogs?
Yeah, I don't know when we decided that in this breed. That started probably 15, 20 years ago, and it's been a thing since. Before that, all bulldogs I ever seen was outside on a chain. I never, for that time, saw one in a house too much. My Nanny Gail was the first
I
one I saw
have.
that kept one as a pet.
I seen plenty of them.
Yeah.
I seen plenty of even old school dogs that were house dogs, and I seen my share of both, man.
Yeah.
It's just depending on how you living and what you got going on, you know.
In the area.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, typically, most dog men that I know, all you know, with yards, they got all their dogs outside.
Yep.
They might
I
have a
mean,
house dog or
it's
two.
the most responsible for them, because if they go to
Yeah, if
moving
you
them
got,
around too much and shit, like you can accidentally. That's where the human error comes in a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like alternating them and doing this shit, because it's hard. Say you have a dog on a chain. Say you have two
mhm,
dogs on two chains, right? It's hard for
yeah,
one person to go out there and switch them two dogs around.
right,
You know what I mean? Like the only way I can do it is I have that blue barrel now, and I can just stick a dog in there and swap the other one, and then put the dog back on the other chain. Like I have to do a lot of that, like figuring out how to do things by myself.
right,
That's
yeah. Well, you know, that's when you have to get creative.
mm-hmm.
When you start trying to better the process, man, you got no choice but to figure ways out. Like you said, you know, your handicap is that you're legally blind. So a lot of the work that you do, you have to do at your house because you can't do road work. You can't do,
A
all of
lot
that
of things
extra
I do
stuff.
are by feeling too. Certain
But
things.
yeah, but so with that being said, the only way for you to work your dogs is on your property doing what you can do. So you learn how to work your dogs in your way and elevator's way, and you've studied it or whatnot, and that's just the things that you do uh because of your situation. It's I don't know, maximizing doing what you can, and getting good at it,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do a lot of things by feel, like especially at nighttime. Like
Hmm.
say I'm slipping a collar on. Most of the time, I don't even like look at it. I just do it. Uh,
Hmm.
a lot of the things I've picked up on since I was a kid, it's like I think it's subconscious to me. Like I just do it, and then later I'll think about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, like I do that different than you would. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's weird. Uh,
But
I find
yeah.
myself like that a lot,
Hmm.
like a lot. I'm like, huh, I do that a lot different. I do that a lot different. Uh,
Yeah.
it's just, I guess, part of like growing up with them and being around them, and like my little cousin Caden, right? He has things that he does that he don't even realize he does.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy to watch him because he's been around dogs like I was. I mean, he's got a. I sent you that picture of him laying on Thor on the couch playing with his ear. Uh,
Right.
he's got the same baby picture pretty much as I do with Thor. So he's got like the same love for him I do, and it's just wild to watch him because I'm like, yeah, okay, you can tell like you grew up around him. Just
Yeah.
watching him, you can tell. Same as like hound guys. If you go hunting with hound guys, they'll tell you whether or not you've been around dogs just by watching them.
Yeah.
They'll know because I've seen people like not be able to handle them because of the way they go through the woods. I've seen people be kind of scared of the hounds for no reason.
Well, I think
Uh,
that will go with experience because if
yeah,
you never had a experience in the woods doing that, then I mean you're gonna be a fish out of water.
yep. Got to turn on do not disturb. Thought I did that already. There we go. So
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely helps a lot. Like being around just all types of dogs too. Uh,
Hmm.
just even hounds, even all kinds of stuff because it makes you understand dogs as a whole. Why do these dogs do certain things? You know what I mean? Like specifically in a certain way, and it don't matter. It's not usually one individual. It's a lot of dogs. Their psychology all seems to work very similar. You know what I mean?
Right.
And with my dog, because I get a certain level of intelligence to where you can tell they just look at shit different. They handle something completely different. Uh, for the digital dog show, so I have never put my Dirty Girl puppies on a mill ever once, and I
Right.
entered a video of each of them running on the mill for the first time ever.
Hmm.
I mean, they're just now right at the age where I like to run them.
Right.
I'm a little different like that than a lot of people too. I don't fuck with my dogs at a young age. They
Right.
know me. They know what I like. They'll know to sit and all this shit. But like, I don't work them at a young age. Uh, I'll put them on the mill once. You know what I mean? Like I'll do all these things like once or twice. But really, the
Right.
only thing I do is like tug type of stuff. But I'm usually real careful because I mean I've never pulled a dog's teeth out. Uh, I did break one dog's tooth on accident. Uh,
A
my
dog or a
mom,
pup?
no, my mom's house dog. She used to grab a hold of the wire fence on our porch and she'd shake the fuck out of it. And I guess it messed up her enamel on her teeth. And
Right.
because she had bad teeth after we lived there, and either way, damn, I had hooked the thing on a tree limb and she jumped up and grabbed it. When she grabbed it, I heard it sounded like a 22 pistol went off.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? And I got to looking, and she had broke her tooth off.
Hmm.
But that's the only time I've ever had a tooth issue out of a dog. And like I
Yeah.
know her teeth were messed up. That dog was
Yeah.
nuts. That was that was when I got started. That bitch was who I wanted to breed Mason to. And I mean, I wish I still could, but she's old.
Yeah. I had my homeboy. He had put me on the bones with the marrow in
Yeah,
it
yeah,
because he used to do a lot of bite work with his dogs or just stuff like that, and his dogs would be biting on stuff and their teeth are dull out, start to dull, and he used to put me on game with that. So he would go. We used to have this pet store that used to sell them. He put me on to it, and they be frozen. They be about, I don't know, maybe half a foot or so, and it's got bone marrow in it. Uh, it's frozen or whatnot. And he would give it to his dogs, and man, they would sharpen their teeth up. Man, they would just fool with it, fool with it, fool with it. And not saying that they was back where they was supposed to be, but they sure was better than what they were.
yeah, yeah. He was doing a lot
Yeah,
of bite sleeve work with them.
a whole bunch of stuff, and his dogs like to bite on stuff like the cages and
Yeah.
all
Them
that
damn
stuff. So
nylon toys and shit, that right there will eat a dog's teeth up for some reason.
Yeah,
I've
you
noticed that.
yeah, you max that out.
hmm Like say a bite wedge, it's made out of like a
Mm-hmm.
certain nylon material,
Mm-hmm.
and them dragging their teeth along it, it'll dull the shit out of them.
Yeah.
It's crazy how to do that too. You wouldn't think like cloth could wear your dog's teeth down, but man, it more likely than a hide. More likely than that's why. Like a few years ago, around the time Dre started selling the hides, like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really see that as a big thing in the dogs. But after I started seeing people do it, I was like, that makes sense why people would use that. If they get a piece in their mouth, they can swallow it; it won't kill them. It's
Yeah,
good for
but
their teeth, all that stuff.
something about the hide that I don't know, activate something in them,
The
you know.
scents,
Yeah,
the flavors, yeah, almost brings out like their primal instincts
yeah,
when they
but
get on it.
you know, um, I've I've never really had a hide. I've had all different types of leather products,
Yeah,
and it's not the same, but
yep.
they take to the leather good.
I've never really used hides either, but I definitely see why. Like I saw that come, like I saw that become a thing. You know what I mean? I didn't really see people say 10 years ago selling hides like that for people to use. I thought that was really cool. I never seen them. You know what I mean? It
Nah,
was like all of a sudden people had
I've
hides for
no.
sale.
Oh, hides for sale? No, they've been
Yeah,
using hides, but as far as me having it, nah. Uh-uh. I've
yeah,
always had like leather products and stuff like that. I don't typically lean towards the leather, but Dre bringing me down a hide, you
oh
know.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
There's a
I got to
local butcher place that's supposed to get me one.
Yeah, I
Waiting on a
got
truck.
I got like this leather rag right now. It's similar to a hide, but it's not a hide.
Yeah,
It's a little tougher.
it's
You
been
know,
tanned.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
I don't know, but uh, yeah. But I'm about to get one though.
yeah. I'm gonna as soon as he gets them for me, I'm gonna cut them and I'm gonna salt them and everything. I'm gonna give it a try. You know what I mean? I'm not opposed to trying anything.
Right.
That's why, like, I'm open to any suggestions people want to give me. I don't care. I mean, that's how you learn. You know, trying different things. Don't be stuck in certain ways with certain
Yeah.
things. Giving it a
Yep.
fair shot. You know, giving like say trying it for long enough, like two three
Hmm.
months, you'll really see the impact versus just trying it. People are really bad for like try this on your dog. They do it for 2 days and like it didn't work. I'm like, come on now, you gotta give it a little more time than that.
Right.
That's one thing that people I've noticed are really bad for. Oh, I do this, and or like they'll post and they'll say I do this, and it's the first time they've ever done it. Like give it a 3 weeks and see if that works real good. You know what I mean? Before you get out there telling people about it, because there's a lot of people that looks up to other people. You know, they'll try that because somebody said so, and hell,
Right.
it might be some whoever's first day doing it. So that's why I like the automatic feeders. I don't recommend them yet, but I'm I'm giving it a fair shot. I'll be able to tell you whether or not with some dogs you can do that.
I don't like automatic feeders. Um, I want the dog to either be fed directly from hand to mouth or from my hand to their plate. And with my family too, you know. Um, I've seen automatic feeders make dogs dependent on the automatic feeders and less dependent upon the owner.
Yeah.
But when you have like your situation or whatever, I understand. I get it.
Well, for my
Uh,
dogs, so it don't really matter who feeds them. That it
right.
don't matter. I'm not my part of me bonding with them don't get through feeding them. You know what I mean? I don't really have a dog aggression issue, like where they're like mean to me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So like it wouldn't matter if Tiffany went up there and fed them every day. Like I say, me and my dogs, we have like a work relationship, and that's
Yeah,
where they feel that they are, fulfilling my love for them, and they get it back. It's through that
I
working relationship,
I got you, Pit Wise.
or what's it
Just
was.
seeing the comment. I'm not even
Oh,
really looking at the comments. I'm
nah, I didn't either. I looked through them. I skimmed through them.
trying to
Appreciate
get.
everybody in here.
Yeah.
RBG Lone Wolf, Melee. Let's see. Lil J, what's up, brother?
Hmm.
Todd's in here. Todd Green, what's up, bro?
What's happening?
Quick FC. Big C's in here.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. So like, I try to have a working relationship with my dogs because I've noticed that if I do that,
Mhm.
I get really hard working dogs, like willing to just do anything I want them to do. Versus
Right.
like, and like they get rubbed down. They get, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yep. Definitely
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. And like I say, hell, I mentioned automatic feeders, and a lot of people's going to act like that's stupid. Feed a yard,
I'm not
big yard
saying it's
full of
stupid.
dogs. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's stupid. I'm just saying, uh,
Well, like 2 years
in
ago,
my
I'm telling you, I'd have been like, "You're dumb as hell" if you told me about an automatic feeder. But I've actually
right.
tried it now, so it's
Do
where the
you
old saying
think?
with these dogs is important. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, but do you think that having a automatic feeder because you have so many dogs, does that mean is that a sign that you getting too many dogs for you to really handle in all reality?
Nah, there ain't no such thing as too many dogs to me. I had
Uh-huh.
37.
Right.
I'm down to about 22, and if I didn't have too many at 37, then why would 22 be too many? I live this lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Right.
I don't clock out. I don't go on vacation. None of that shit. I live this lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that don't believe me, come up for a couple of days and see.
Right.
You're welcome to, because it's on a different level. Like I didn't never plan on it getting this big. You know what I'm saying? I never planned on
Mm-hmm.
that when I first got into it. It's just something that organically happened. But like,
Right.
it's part of my lifestyle so much that like it don't affect me having to go up there and feed them or water them. Mainly the most concern is being able to leave, go to these dog shows, go to the without like them being skip fed a day or somebody having to go up there and feed them. That's my main concern. Is like
Right.
just being able to travel and show the dogs off at the same time. Because it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't matter if I had one dog or if I had 3 dogs, right? And I only wanted to take 2 of them to the show. What the
Uh-huh.
hell does the other one do? It wouldn't matter my number. You know what I mean? It's more about like I want it to be fed accordingly, even though I'm not
Mm-hmm.
there. So
No, I'm
that's
not
where
knocking it. I was
that's
just
where more
asking
of
the
the concern
question.
comes in at. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I feel like today's world, a lot of people hate on big number of yards, and like I feel like that was never a thing in dogs 20 years ago. If you didn't have a
Yeah.
big yard, you didn't really have dogs back in the
Yeah.
day. That's why I
Yeah.
have the opinion I have. Every OG I know had 20, 30 dogs.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah, like that's my main
that's
use
just
in it, Big C. That's
what's
my
up.
main purpose. He said like for going out of town. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I wanna be
Yeah.
able to sit there and like other people might not care, but like I don't want to sit there thinking, hell, my dog needs fed later, and then my
Mm-hmm.
mom has to go up there and feed him. No, I'd rather have them set up where nobody has to do it, and
Yeah.
I'm setting them up for my kennels. You know what I mean? I'm trying things to get them used to where when I build my barn, it'll be they'll just already know about an automatic feeder versus
Yeah.
having to learn that and being in the new barn, and you know what I mean, and having an automatic water bowl. So like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to switch. I'm going to slowly start implementing all these things even before I get the barn going. Like I'm going to build them
Yeah.
a automatic water system. You know what I mean? So that mainly because it's not that I care about watering them, right? I don't want no bugs landing in their damn water. That's gross to me. I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm drinking a cup of sweet tea. I got to go make some more sweet tea. I'm out of it. But if a fly
Yeah.
landed in that bitch right now, I'm throwing it away. I'm not drinking it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So like I kind of think about that. Like I don't want them drinking. Usually that's where they get like, um, they can drink up like all kinds of stuff like that. That's that's where they'll deal with the mosquitoes, any of the bugs that chill around. And I've also noticed like up here at this new house, I don't really have a bug problem. Um,
Hmm.
which I would have thought the other way around when I moved them up here. I was thinking next spring I'm gonna have hell trying to get rid of all these bugs and stuff. But like I don't
Yeah.
really have a bug problem. Like I stood out there. I sat out there for like 2 or 3 hours yesterday, just kind of watching and looking
Yeah.
at stuff. And like I never even seen no bugs around them.
Hmm.
And I haven't sprayed for nothing yet. So maybe it's just because they're new up here.
Yeah.
I don't really know. But maybe next year it might be worse. But I'm always like, I've done it so long, like I know when to do things. You know how you'll see where people be like, give your dogs your flea stuff, as they're
Mhm.
coming into the season. I've already done
Yeah.
it, but I've already done it by most of the time people start saying that shit. I've already done it. And then
Yeah.
people will be like, and then a month later, people will be like, man, I got fleas like crazy. How do I get rid of them? Like, you get rid of them by doing it a month prior. Like 40, like right when it starts to get warm,
Yeah.
certain things like that I figured out. My first year, I probably wasted a lot of money because
Uh-huh.
I would do shit when it wasn't necessary that I thought was necessary, and like, you know what I mean. I had to figure out when I had to do it. Um, Up here, it's been a little different. I've had to figure out stuff again, certain things again, how to do things. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. See, so my waters. He said, I think Big C said, I think an automatic water feeder would be amazing, especially if it circulates cool water through the day. Yeah,
Yeah. They got these
I've
hydro systems that keeps the water moving so the
yeah,
water doesn't sit still. Yeah.
yep. And say so. I'm gonna try. So Bubba Mex, he uses what's called a Lixit L100,
What's
and they
that?
just kind of, it's like a little say it's a thing you could screw to your water faucet, right, and turn the water
Hmm.
on, and it
Yeah.
has like a little nipple out that sticks out, and if you move it side to side, water will come out, kind of like a gerbil feeder,
Oh,
right?
okay. Uh-huh.
And that's what they're gonna have in each one of their kennels.
Right.
And I debated because I could have ran. Say I have concrete bowls, right? I could have when I build my barn, I could put a pipe in
Hmm.
already to where I sit my automatic feeder down, and a piece of pipe from the automatic feed or the water bowl, I mean, goes down into that pipe, and I could have
Yeah.
plumbed it where water comes out and fills the water bowl up all the time, and the water goes out of the water bowl the same time it's filling up. You know what I mean? You just gotta calculate your inlet size and your outlet size, and you can figure out how to put more water in there, as much water
Hmm.
in there that's going out. So I could do that, but I think I'm gonna go the Lixit route because there won't be a big bowl of water sitting there ever. You know what I mean? Because it wouldn't matter. Say you got a big bowl of water and it's always filling up. If a fly
Hmm.
lands in it and they're drinking out of it, it could still contaminate them. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Just because the water's circulating don't mean shit. Uh,
Yeah.
it won't never turn green if I do that. It won't never turn green because it's spring water, and like my barrel up there, it don't turn green. None of that shit turns
Hmm.
green because the water's always flowing. Uh, but I think I'm going the Lixit route because I'm trying to eliminate um bowls of water or any water puddle sitting around because my yard's on a hill, so now like when it rains, their chain don't fill up with no water at all. They get a little muddy, but other
Yeah.
than that, they don't fill up with no water. So like now that I'm up here, I ought to get rid of the water bowls to
Hmm.
eliminate even that further step of contamination, possibly.
Yeah.
One thing Throwback gave said, like we were talking about the automatic feeders, and he said he probably couldn't do it because of the ants. I've not really seen an ant problem with these. You know, and I know I have ants. Like, I know I have ants and stuff around here.
Mhm.
But, like, I've not seen an ant problem with them messing with the food bowl that I've done. Because
Yeah.
I have one automatic feeder in my whelping kennel. I have one automatic feeder in the other whelping kennel. And then I have one automatic feeder on the side of Jarvis's. So I'm giving it like a try with them three. I just put
Hmm.
one up yesterday for Vixen, so she's the fourth one that's getting a shot.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to slowly start implementing it and see how they do, each dog. You know what I mean? Like, and I write all this shit down. So, like, in 10 years, when I got all this research of things you can and can't do, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be able to look back at it versus just kind of having to memorize the shit. I'll just look back at it and be like, no, that didn't work. For, you know what I mean? Try it with this dog, but that didn't work for that dog. Stuff like that. And like when you're first into it, you wouldn't think you have to write shit down. You know what I mean? Like when I was down, like probably 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I had 7 dogs, and I didn't write shit down. You know what I mean? But now I don't have none of that to look back on. No information to look back on for that time because I didn't write shit down. That sucks. So he said water on a timer with the overflow might be the way to go. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's tons of options I could do as far as because I'm starting fresh. So, that anybody suggestion, shoot if you're a carpenter or anything, whatever you say, shoot me suggestions on Facebook Messenger. I'll take everybody's stuff into consideration when I build this barn because I'm only gonna build one of them. So I want it to be right when I do it. I don't want to go back to changing shit. It's gonna have an AC unit in it. It's gonna have fans in the top. It's gonna have a furnace. Like, I have big plans for it as far as being able to, and like I'll be able to put all my dogs in there in the enclosed space, not to really keep them warm, but because when it snows, say a foot deep, it'll be way easier for me to take care of them. You know, I have asthma, so like that's something I have to walk around that hill in that cold kills me.
Yeah.
So and I didn't have asthma until we started working on this house and shit. And I mean, I wore a respirator and everything, but I still have asthma again. So I hadn't dealt with it since I was a kid. The straw in the wintertime, okay, that's the first time I ever seen symptoms of my asthma coming back. It was about
Hmm.
2 years ago. I was filling up the straws and shit in their dog houses, and that kills me. That absolutely kills me. But I still have to do it, you know what I mean? Take care of it. But it takes my breath away. I have to wear a respirator the whole time I'm doing straws.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, like, and like when I first got started, you wouldn't have convinced me that I'd wear a respirator while doing that shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, now I wish I would have from the beginning.
Yeah. My little brother got asthma real bad.
It sucks. It's part of the albinism for me.
Right.
That's one of the reasons I have it and I deal with it. Like my brothers and sisters don't have it at all. They don't have no breathing problems, but I do.
Right.
So I don't know. Like some of these things, like I never would have even thought years ago that I would do stuff the way I do now. But I've had to change. You know, I've had to evolve. Like,
Yeah.
there's 2 types of people, right? There's a person that don't matter where you put them, they're gonna thrive, and then there's a person that don't matter where you put them, they're gonna just suck. And
Right.
I like to think I'm one of them that's just gonna thrive no matter what comes at me. I guess
Right.
that's the game. I guess that's the game dog in me, but I am gonna make it work no matter what happens. So that's one factor about it. Like, and like that's another reason I kind of have a bigger number of dogs, right? My
Why?
gene pool of family of dogs almost died off, like completely. It would have, if I wouldn't have never bred Mason and Medusa, that would have been 2 lines of dogs that completely died off.
Right.
So I kind of gave that some thought, and like I almost lost my dogs out of my control. You know what I mean? I was a kid. My dad wasn't really fooling with them like that. He just had his older ones. He's not really into it. Like his heart got broken when it comes to these dogs, right? So
Yeah.
when he had to put Thor down, he has never lost a dog to natural causes. He had to put every one of them to sleep. and like
Why?
just because they got old.
Oh,
They got old and maxed out their life expectancy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
The quality of life started going down, so he'd take them and put them to sleep. And I mean, that's the right thing to do. But certain men, how many times can you do that with like, like he loved Thor like you love Michonne. Like we had Thor in the house, all that shit. So like, and he had him for 17 years. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
he had Panic for 16. Dixie died of yard accident. But other than
Right.
that, like Lita, he had to put Lita to sleep. A bunch of other dogs. I mean, like he could tell you better than I can all the dogs' names because it was before I really remembered them. But I don't know. Like it breaks you. It really can. Like dealing with death so much. Like when you only own one dog, you don't hardly deal with death. You might deal with death once in a few years, but when you're on 20 to 30, death comes a little more often for some reason.
Right.
With age, like it seems like as they start to age out, it's like, damn, I buried one like 6 months ago. Now I'm burying another one because they're old. Like that, it's kind of hard mentally to deal with. It really is. Whenever I had all my dogs get parvo, that shit almost broke me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Every old dog man I know told me, message me, don't quit. Don't give up just because you dealt with this. Don't let this break you. Don't let it take you out of the game. You know what I mean? And I had probably 12 dogs at the time, and 9 of them come down with parvo.
Yeah.
So like it almost wiped me out.
Yeah.
I saved 7 of them. 3 of them did pass away. 2 puppies and then Creature.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that almost broke me. It really did. It almost got me the same way my dad don't fuck with dogs. I was almost to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like when I had 7 dogs in my kitchen shitting up blood, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like that was like all my hard work right here, just fucking slowly dying in front of my eyes.
Right.
It was horrible. It really was. It was my first few years of having a dog yard on my own. My mom and them, so there's a bunch of people over there, and they were like, it's probably parvo. It's probably parvo. And I mean, I got pissed off and told them, there's no way, no fucking way it's parvo. You know what I mean? Like, y'all are full of shit.
Yeah.
Because I had just vaccinated about 3-4 days before that. I mean, they're boosters for some of them dogs, and then their first one for some of them. And and that was like when I said that I had that many dogs come down. Like I didn't start a GoFundMe or nothing. You know what I mean? But people still come at me like I did. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they were like, "Well, did you vaccinate them and shit?" Like, yes, they were vaccinated. I still have the fucking needles and bottles over here in the trap. Like, they were vaccinated, and I still dealt with it. So, like, I thought the people were crazy when they were telling me that could be parvo. I'm like, they ain't no way. You know what I mean? I do everything I can to prevent it, and I still dealt with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was bleaching all the time, doing all this stuff. That old dog yard's kind of cursed. I swear that thing's cursed. Yeah, hell yeah. I had too much bad stuff happen over there for it not to be.
Right.
And my dad did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a weird story behind that land we'll get into one day. There was I'll just go ahead and tell you real fast. There was a little boy that was handicapped in like the 20s or 30s. That house was built in 1911, where my old dog yard was. So and it was registered in 1930 as an actual residence. You know what I'm saying, like a home for the census. But in the 20s, there was a handicapped boy that lived across the creek.
Yeah.
And they kept him on a chain, fed him out of a bowl like a dog, like
Right.
for real. This is a true story. And fed him that lady her name was Miss Clark. She owned my mama's house. She had a little boy that was probably about 6 at the time, and that little boy went missing, and they never found him. But the handicapped boy is the one that took him and killed him and buried him. So like that dog yard has some weird energy about it. just like
Yeah.
freakishly dark energy. I've walked around it at nighttime, with no headlamp on and stuff. Like I used to walk around the dog yard at night with no light on at all. I knew where I was going. The moon lit it up bright enough. I didn't need a headlamp at night. Some nights, and I'm telling you,
I
that
got
place
you,
is
Big C.
spooky. Oh, what do you
I
say?
got you, Big C.
I just seen that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know he had German shepherds. Oh yeah, I did. He mentioned that. Me and Tiff and him talked about that at the dog show. Cause she likes German
Yeah.
shepherds.
Yeah.
That's my fiance's favorite breed, either a German shepherd or a boxer.
Yeah. That was the first dog I had was a German Shepherd. Yeah.
So like when Dre talks about the old yellow dogs and what he
Uh-huh.
expects from them and stuff,
Right.
to me, all he's describing is Thor. To me, that's all. Every time he goes to talking about it, I'm like, that's who I grew up with. Thor was my
Right.
old yeller.
Right.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Like that's a phenomenal movie, and it always kind of messed me up. You know what I mean? Like that kid loved that dog, and then he had to put it to sleep. That sucks. Stuff like that.
Yeah. And no rabies. Speaking of, I need to be. It's about that time for me. Yeah.
Yeah, they're I think they're gonna come up in August to do all my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come up like once every couple of years, once a year. If I have young dogs, they got to come up once a year. Then it gets to where I think you can do it once every 3 years.
Okay.
I seen some video on some vet. He's trying to convince the medical board that they only need one shot, like they're covered for life after they have that one shot.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was a vet guy.
Don't get me lying. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't get me lying, because I don't know. That's above my grade. Yeah.
It's important to have though, because I mean, like you never know when your dog's going to say catch a coon at the trash can,
Right?
Or anything like an old house cat that might. I mean, I don't know. Wait a minute, can house cats get rabies? I've never even heard of one. Hold on.
Man, I think any if a human can get it, anybody can get it. Yeah. And the thing is, as a human, if you get rabies, you can have rabies up to a year and not know you have it.
Yeah.
And then after that, when it is detectable, it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Yeah, so it does say cats can't get it. I've never seen one in my life. Never even heard about a cat having it.
Man,
you know what I mean? Never thought about it.
I think if you breathing, you can get rabies.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
The
cool.
only thing that I haven't I don't know about is the sea and water. I don't know if they can get rabies, but anything on land that's breathing, I think can get rabies. That's just me.
In my lifetime, I've seen one hound dog with rabies that I know that's what it was, and he had to be put to sleep.
Yeah.
All my dogs are rabies vaccinated just in case, like, they get a possum or anything like that. Because Medusa has killed. Okay, so she's killed 3 possums on her chain.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta be stupid. They gotta be dumber than hell to keep going up to her.
Possums like that quick.
Yeah, it was probably trying to steal her food, and she snatched it. But this is at my other house. I've not had them kill anything up here yet. Which I mean, I would have thought, I'm in the woods, so they'd at least get a squirrel or something. But they ain't killed nothing. One thing I was going to bring up: if you have a dog yard, right, and you start noticing mice around them or rats, there's only one way to get rid of that safely. It's baking soda and Jiffy cornbread mix. Mix it 50-50 and lay it out in places.
Does it do something to your dogs?
No, it won't mess your dog. It'll give your dogs the farts, maybe.
Some gas?
They'll be a little farty, but that's about it. That's how it kills the rats. Rats can't fart and they can't burp. So if you give them that baking soda, they'll swell up and die. It's kind of
Yeah.
like feeding a bird rice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's at my old yard. I had a neighbor that I mean, it was a total crack shack, right? Total crack
Yeah.
shack, 100%. Like
I ain't
condemned
never
where they
heard
couldn't
that
even live
before.
in it.
I ain't never heard crack shack before. That's
That's what
new.
it was. It was a fucking crack shack, bro. And if you seen
Damn.
it, you'd see why I called it a shack. But
Yeah.
it's condemned and everything. Like nobody can live in it, but they live over there in tents and shit. And ever since the flood, and it didn't destroy their house. I don't know why he's staying over there, but either way,
Yeah.
before they were staying over there, and like they would bring shit in and had like 4 or 5 cars packed back there and stuff, and like their trash would get tore out and all this stuff. So like rats were
Yeah.
crazy in that area right there, and
Mm-hmm.
it kind of brought them to my dog yard. And I
Yeah.
had a dog get giardia one time from a rat, so and I had to get cured up. So like I started putting that baking soda and cornbread mix everywhere. Like I'd walk by
Yeah.
their property and just dump a bottle full of it in their bushes.
Right. That's
I know it ain't.
crazy.
I know it ain't gonna kill their dogs or anything, so I just dump it in their
Hmm.
bushes. Like here, get rid of the problem where it started.
Yeah.
And I know them. I know them, so they didn't care for me dumping shit out around like that. I asked, don't go
Yeah.
sneaky. Don't go sneaky doing shit around people's dogs.
Yeah.
Tip for the people,
Hey,
because
it might get you in a get yourself in a situation.
yeah, yeah. So
You
always
know,
ask for any permission for anything.
especially with your neighbor.
Yep. My
Yeah.
neighbor, my neighbor, he was an old man, right? A Vietnam vet, and I salute him for that. I even told him that. Thank you for your service. You know what I mean? And he had always kind of acted weird towards me, like I'm doing something illegal or something. Always.
Yeah.
I guess it's because he's not used to a yard full of dogs. I don't really know. I don't really
Hmm.
think he's from here. But so he was like, "Oh well, when I go out at night on my porch at like 3 in the morning, they bark at me." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, like turn the damn light on and let them know who you are, and they won't bark at you. You sneak out there and sit on the porch and cough every once in a while. But either way,
Yeah.
I don't care what he does, you know.
Yeah,
But
but I'm saying you can't tell him how to live in his own home
nah,
and stuff like that. If he want to
nah.
step outside and do that,
Well,
like
that's why I built
what?
a big ass fence.
Elevate what?
That's why I
Huh?
built a bit. He was provoking them. What you missed by
Man.
that? He was giving them ham and all kinds of shit in the middle of the summertime. He was provoking them. So I built a big ass 7 foot tall fence. You can't provoke them no more.
Right.
You can't even get a ladder over there to throw nothing over the fence to them.
Yeah.
That's where I
Well,
was getting with that. Like I was fine with him telling me, oh, he can't go out on his porch. I don't give a shit about that. That's your
that's
problem, not
part of
mine.
yeah,
Uh,
that's part of me being if I was a breeder, I'd definitely have more land than I have now. And my neighbors would be a little more spread out. Yeah, I see that happening a lot of times, and that's part of the reason why my limitation is 3 dogs.
and I mean, my neighbors, like, there's been 12 dogs in that backyard since 1999, right?
Hmm.
At lowest it got to was 70. So like it ain't like it was new. You know what I mean? It ain't like, hey, oh, we just all of a sudden put a bunch of dogs here. No,
Right,
it ain't
without a
new.
doubt,
So
without a doubt.
when you move
See,
into an area and your neighbor's already doing shit and you're trying to tell me how to live on my own property, why the
yeah,
fuck you think I don't care to tell you to turn the damn light on?
it's just one of them disputes, man.
So
It's just
yeah,
one of
that's
them
you know how to
things.
stop it? Build a 7 foot
Uh,
tall privacy fence.
yeah,
That's how you stop it. Because after I did that,
yeah,
I didn't hear shit from that old man. We never talked again. And that was about 3
yeah,
years ago.
yeah, man. One of the worst things you can do is have drama and confrontation with your neighbors, man. That is that's one of the worst things, man. It happens all the time, but man, once it started, don't stop.
Yeah.
So
Like I say,
look,
the only thing that stopped that was building that fence.
yeah,
Because
man.
you know what a bark box is?
What's that?
It's a little box that looks like a birdhouse, right?
Uh-huh.
And it makes a screeching noise, and it's supposed to stop dogs from barking. I don't
Okay.
know why it made my dogs go nuts. Like
Yeah.
there was an animal out there that was dead. That's how they acted. Whenever it screeched, every dog out there would go nuts. And
Yeah.
he come out. This is why I told him turn the fucking light on. He come out and he hung that bark box on my side of the fence, right?
Yeah.
Which means he reached over into my property and zip tied it to the side of the fence. Well, I was
Yeah.
out there watering one day, and like I bent over and I was watering, and I heard this like screeching noise in my ear. You're not even supposed to be able to hear them, but I heard this like
Yeah.
screeching noise in my ear, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Like I noticed my dogs were going nuts for no reason. I'd go out there and there wouldn't be nothing, and I'm like, "Why the heck are they barking so much?" Well, I was out there watering, and I heard that screeching noise, and I got to looking, and I found that bark box on the fence.
Yeah.
It's on my side, so I took the bitch. You know, you didn't even ask me if you could put this out here. I on my side of the fence, and I took it. Well, a couple days later, he come out. Hey man, hey, and I just ignored him the first couple of times. Just kept working with a water hose, you know, like I didn't hear him. And he hollered at
Right.
me one last time, and I walked over there, and he was like, "Where's my bark box?" I said, "You mean the one you put on my side of the fence?" And
Yeah.
he was like, "That's my fence." I said, "Not this side, buddy. This side is on my property line. This is my side of the fence. That side over there is your side of the fence. Don't reach
Right.
over the fucking fence, period." Because he had done fed him ham in the middle of the summertime. I think he was
Mhm.
trying to kill him, is what I think he
Right.
was trying to do. I don't care what anybody says. You know damn well when it's 95 degrees outside, you don't want to feed a dog a bunch of salty ham. That's common sense,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, like a
Yeah.
bunch. Like, and he might have been trying to be really nice, you know what I mean? Like trying to make friends with Medusa because he had seen her a bunch. I put the one that
Mhm.
was really nice next to him and it didn't bark a whole lot on purpose, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like I tried to kind of, you know, work with him a little bit, even though I know, you know, like I shouldn't have to change my shit on my property just for that guy, you know.
Right.
But I tried, you know, I'm trying to be a responsible owner. I put the best dog next to him that I could think of. Even if she got
Yeah.
loose, she's not gonna hurt nothing. Uh
Mhm.
he had a little dog, and that's why he acted weird towards me. It's because he was terrified of his little dog getting over there to my dogs. Like that little bitty dog, my dogs ain't gonna hurt it. They think it's a
Yeah.
puppy, you know. My dogs love all puppies. It don't
Mhm.
matter. Every dog I got can be around my puppies. So
Yeah.
the only thing that stopped it though was building that fence. You know what I mean? And that's why I moved. Like my neighbors just kept giving me problems. I never thought I'd get this many dogs. So after I realized, you know, this lifestyle ain't changing, I just moved. Screw it,
Yeah.
to a better property where I don't have to worry about that shit.
Mhm.
But if you come up and touch my fence now, it's gonna light your ass up. It will shock you. I
You
promise.
got
And
the
it ain't.
warning sign on the fence.
Yeah, it's double current,
Okay.
so it'll light your ass up.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna eventually build me a big tire wall around the whole property. I'm gonna take
Mhm.
them, stack them like bricks, kind of sideways, and screw them
Mhm.
together. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna screw them to the trees that they go by. That way, it'll be real sturdy, and that'll be
Mhm.
around my entire yard. And I'm gonna do tires because, say, I get a truckload for free here, I get a truckload for
Mhm.
free here. Uh, I can just build it as high as I want to build it. I don't have to stop at 6 feet. I don't have to, you know what I mean? I don't have to. There's not really and I can. It's on the hill, so like as I'm putting them, I can kind of make the wall the same height all the way down, you know,
Mhm.
because the way the wall goes. So just things like that, you know, setting it up to where it makes it a lot easier. Uh,
Yeah.
I have a 7-strand barbed wire fence, and the two middle strands are electric. So that's usually like the middle strands where animals that try to go through or something
Yeah.
is my main concern with the electric fence. If say a coon tries to go through there, it'll shock him and he'll go the other way.
Mhm.
So I'm just trying to eliminate all the variables to where I have less issues. You know what I mean? Overall, that's the hard part, figuring out all the stuff to eliminate.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
and so that old man, right? I was always so nice to him, but he always treated me like I'm a piece of shit. So like I never even got the chance to be nice to him like that.
Yeah.
You'll run into them neighbors you don't even get a chance to be nice to. I met my neighbors up here already. I get Walmart delivered because I don't drive, so they
Mhm.
deliver it to me, and they delivered it to my neighbor's porch over there, and I got. That's how I got to meet them. I don't go introducing myself to my neighbors. I know that it's a southern thing to do it, but I'm not even trying to be friends with you guys. I don't need to
Right.
talk to you. You're not you're not gonna help me ever, and I ain't gonna help you. We don't even need to talk. You know what I mean? Being too nice to the neighbors at the other house is what give me them issues in the first place. Because I'm like, oh hey sir, if you need anything, I can help you. Like to my other neighbors that moved in, uh,
Right.
the ones that bought the house sight unseen, and then the day they come, they pulled through my yard in their big RV and tore my grass all to shit, like a foot deep rut. And they were
Damn,
so
that's
nice
crazy.
then. You know what I mean? They were so nice. Oh, we're sorry we didn't. I'm like, no, you're good. If you ever need anything, I'll help you. You know what I mean? They were young, so I was trying to be friendly
Right.
with them. They were closer to my age, and they were fine for about 3 months, and then all of a sudden started calling the law on me, the dog pound, just all of a sudden out of nowhere, and she claimed that my dog's barking was going to give her a miscarriage.
Damn.
Come on now. There ain't no way. I've had a baby before, lady.
Yeah.
I have a 6-year-old. Like, come on now. And I mean, like,
Mhm.
that's one thing I don't understand. You know, people be scared of my kids, and these, like, my daughter goes around every dog here. I can bring any kid can come up here and mess with him. You know what I mean? That is a necessary part of being here. If a kid can't mess with him, you're not fucking living here. Period. Like I have a dog named Camille. She's about to go to Florida. I told my buddy I'll take her in. You know what I mean? She's a good dog. I could breed her to Haywood. She's a big buck-sized dog, very nice, and
Right.
she's a staff. And I got her to breed to Haywood. You know what I mean? That's my only interest in this bitch. And I told the dude that had her, I'll take her for a couple weeks, and if she does really good, you know, and don't bark and stuff, then I'll keep her. But
Right.
if she barks a lot and shit, then you got to get her back. I'm just gonna try her, you know, because not all dogs fit to this lifestyle.
Mhm.
Well, she started barking and shit, and I hit the guy up, and he didn't say he ignored me, like he ain't gonna come back and get her. Well, that's all right. I know somebody
Right.
in Florida that wants her. I'll send her to Florida. That's
Yeah.
fine with me.
Did he sign your agreement?
Nah, I mean, I got the dog from him.
Oh,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
tripping.
Like she wasn't none of my shit. I got the dog
Yeah.
from him to
Yeah.
breed into my stuff eventually. But she raises hell too much. She don't do good on a chain, so she's leaving. She's gonna go into a home in Florida,
Okay.
be an inside dog. I try my best to try all dogs and see if they'll fit my lifestyle and the way the way they have to live. And if they don't make the cut.
Right.
I'm not gonna breed a dog that can't even live my normal lifestyle that every other dog I have fits to perfectly. You know. And I mean, I've
Yep.
gave away a lot of badass dogs for that, but it's what happens.
Yeah. It's all who you wanted to go to.
Yep. It's just however people wants to build their individuality of their dogs in their yard. Like that's what I love it. I love like watching the old yard tour videos and seeing how Floyd kept his dogs versus how STP kept his dogs versus how Ablazin and Russia kept his dogs. Like they all do things different, but they all have the same end goal. I love that shit. I don't know why. It's kind of like drag racing. They all have the same end goal, but they do shit so different. That's why I love drag racing. Um,
Yeah.
it's the
You like
artistic
what you
about
like.
it. Yeah, it's the artistic freedom that you have in these things that I really like. You can do things differently according to what you want to see. Like
Yeah.
Kirshner, he had all them damn runners. That shit looked good. That was a nice yard. You know what I mean? Never would have thought about it up here. I
Yeah.
never would have even tried it. You know what I mean? Mountain Man, he had his on runners that went across the creek, and he didn't water his dogs. They drank the creek water.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, that's how. And it
Their
flooded.
immune system strong.
Huh?
Damn. I said their immune system is strong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, creek water up here, you can drink the creek water up here.
Damn.
I can go right out there and scoop a cup of water out of the creek and drink it, and I will not get sick.
Damn. Damn.
It's
You better
not.
than me.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't get sick. It's clean water. We have trout
Yeah,
water, and trout
yeah.
water has to be clean.
Well, make
Cause
sure you always drink upstream from the herd.
yeah. Yeah. They in a lot of all the farms and farmland here is usually in the like lower valleys.
Yeah,
It seems they have a lot of like valley. They've all okay. So there's the Rosses, right? And I grew up with them boys, and they're the biggest
yeah,
farmers in our area, and they own every bit of the flat land in the valleys that you can think of up here.
yeah. Like Yellowstone.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, they're a lot like that actually. Countries they come. Hell, I had a buddy. His name was Justin. I salute Justin. I miss that dude a lot because we were friends. You know, we don't talk after I failed, but we were good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I broke my ankle twice in the seventh grade, and I skipped a bunch of school, and I failed seventh grade because of
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah,
I
but
broke my
see,
ankle twice a month from each other.
buyer's agreement is definitely a good idea
Yeah,
if you go into the public. Yep.
yeah, they are. I mean, that's why it covers you and the buyer. That's why I even got one written up. I wanted to protect me and the buyer because that's important. I mean, hell, I hear that they can bust you over having names on certain paperwork now, so that's not
Yep.
okay.
They
So
can.
buyer's agreement covers everybody. We're not doing nothing illegal with them. You can't buy one for any illegal activities. Like I will not sell them to you for that. I don't care how
Yeah.
cool to try to look on the internet. I do not want that shit done with my dogs. Period. Like I have a zero tolerance to that shit. It ain't 1974. Get over
Yeah.
yourself.
2007.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so like I have a zero tolerance for that shit. I want you to do the best with them. I want to see them live their full extent of their lives. You know what I mean? Like my dad's dogs did. Like Mason has. Like Medusa's working on slowly. Sissy,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Dirty Girl, she's getting older. She's not old, but she's getting up.
Shit,
Yeah,
I'm
she's a
getting
baby
older.
dog.
Damn. Yeah.
So I mean, it's what everybody wants. You know, there is no right or wrong way. Like when I tell some of this stuff, I don't expect you to try it. I'm just telling my experience. Like
Yeah.
if I died to tomorrow, my daughter could go and listen to this shit and listen to what I had to say about the dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a factor. I'm telling you. I think about death more than most men my age.
Right.
And I'll say that because I lost my little sister.
Uh-huh.
We lost our little sister in a car wreck. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So like,
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, she was only 17. I appreciate you. You know? So like
Yeah.
ever since then I've thought about death a lot. Like what happens, whenever I die, what happens to all these dogs? That's why I'm kind of setting up the automatic feeders and shit. If I die,
Yeah.
they just have to keep up the routine until they all die off,
Mm-hmm.
or get rid of them to other people I know, like throwback, anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your two options. My family probably wouldn't get rid of my dogs. They know which ones I would want them to keep. So
Yeah.
I have it written down. Doing due diligence with the dogs is very important. When you have them on a certain level, you got to think about a little deeper than most people do. And
Right.
I wasn't even aware of that. Like, my dad did. My dad was
Right.
at a young age. He thought about all this shit that I'm thinking about now. It wasn't really a
Yeah.
thought to me. I was focused on the dogs that we had in front of us, and then we'd have puppies, and I'd be like, well, shit, like, look at this, Like, I didn't think past that. But now when I'm my older age, we lost our little sister, I kind of give stuff like that some thought. It's scary. Death, I was never scared by death, but when we lost her, it really bothers me now. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
It had never been one of us until then, you know what I mean?
It's
My whole
it's
my whole
different.
crew as a kid was running around. You know, all of us, we were fine. Now we're missing a link.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'll
Yep.
say an important link because she was one of a kind. So
Right.
we're almost missing the buckle of our belt.
Right.
So I don't know, like just giving stuff some forethought. That's why like all my paperwork and stuff, it's handled accordingly. You know, if something happened to me, there's a backup plan. My sister would take over all my paperwork stuff and have it in order. My
Right.
other little sister. So I got quite a few siblings. I have two little brothers, a little sister, two littler sisters. I mean, there's a bunch of us siblings. So hopefully they, say something, God forbid, happened to my brother, right? He's building his Vega. He's got the motor together and everything. If something happened to my brother, I would throw that together in his honor. I would keep it going. The Haywood Hooligans. That's what Haywood Hooligans 828. You can look us up on Facebook. That's my little brother. You still there, Big A?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear you.
I'm here. I am here, bro. I'm here.
Okay. I couldn't hear you for some reason. Yeah, I mean, I would keep it going. You know what I mean? All my little brother's dreams and shit, I would try to make them, still come true, even though they were gone. When our little sister passed away, my other little sister, she was a singer, right? My other little sister applied for The Voice. She was going to go on there. She did her application and everything. So I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's just your love for people goes deep. Your love for these dogs goes really deep. So some people has them as a yard ornament just to look at. And that's okay, I guess. I'm not too picky on anything. I don't really care. I can't tell people what to do because I don't want nobody telling me what to do.
Right.
So that's one reason you don't see me say do this only. Because I don't want to be. If you tell me to do something like in a kind of demanding way, I'm gonna not do it or die because I don't like that.
Right.
That's where like my problem with the registries has came in recently. Like just some bullshit. Like honestly, if I could go back, everybody says papers matter, papers matter. I know how these dogs are bred. I could give a shit less if I registered them. Personally,
Right.
I don't really care. That shit brings on a whole lot of problems.
Yeah.
Especially with like politics.
Right.
But yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's just there's a whole lot of politics. Some of them are all right to get involved in. Some of them just bring some bullshit to you.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Like for me to have to deal with bullshit as much as I've tried to help and push these registries, that sucks.
Yeah.
Really makes you second guess wanting to push anything for anybody. Because at any minute they could change. Oh well, we were fine with this 3 years ago, but now we're not fine with it.
Yeah.
I would like to see these rule books that you guys are going by.
Yep.
Because the making up the rules as we go shit, that sucks.
Well, you always have the option to open your own registry based
Yeah.
off of your line.
Yeah. So I talked to Tom, and I think I'm just going that route.
What's right?
All I
What
need,
right?
Sport and Dog Registry. All I need is a record keeping company. I don't care about all the other bullshit. I just need a record keeping company where I can keep track of it. The further I go, you know what I mean. That's all I care about.
Mm-hmm.
Like after the pig picking, I think I'm going to these dog shows and I'm not even taking my dogs. I'm just going to narrate like me and you've been talking about.
Yeah, be a commentator.
Yeah. Except for I ain't got my dogs out there. I'm gonna tell people what I really think then.
Look, don't go start no trouble.
Nah, but I'm gonna tell them what I really think.
Right.
If you're standing in the show ring and your dog looks weak and out of shape, I'll tell you. I'm gonna say it on the commentate like they would
Yeah,
UFC. He's gonna stand here.
being a commentator and telling somebody to their face,
Yep.
man, look, I'll just tell you what, you better be ready.
Well, when I'm standing here on the camera and I say shit, they're gonna hear it. So
Yeah, but that's different.
I
That's
already deal
different.
with all that bullshit and people hating me. It don't matter. If people
Okay.
wants it commentated, I mean, I'm gonna give them the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, so there's a lot of really good dogs that shows up, right? I've only
Mm-hmm.
ever seen one dog that I'm like, nah, there's something wrong with that. You know what I mean? And
Right.
the people at the show, I'll give them this. The people who ran the show told them, hey, man, your dog has this. You got to put it in the car and don't bring it back out. It had hookworm on it and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, and these were young people that had the dog there. And they told him, no, you got to put it back in the car. You can't walk that dog out around here. And I that made me respect them. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they're gonna correct you if they see something wrong. You know, that's important.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just be like, hey, your dog. You know, like it would have to be something physical for me, or that could bother the other dogs for me to say something. Like that
Mm-hmm.
hookworm. I mean, it poops and pees in places everywhere it's walking around. That could potentially give it to other dogs.
Yeah.
And
Without a doubt.
I do know of people that have hookworm after that. I do know of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it don't just pop up out of nowhere. So I thought that
Nope.
was weird. But I mean, like when you're taking these dogs to these shows, they should be in like peak tip top shape, right? Or regular shape. You should either try to hit one or the other. They should be in their daily shape, but always wormed and fed and all that stuff. Or they should
Right.
be in peak shape. They should never be almost lacking. If you stand there looking at that dog like, nah, I know something's wrong with it, you shouldn't take it to the show ring. Because you could get other dogs sick. You could get, even though they're older, like Parvo, the vet told me they had never seen a case of Parvo in a dog over 2 years old, ever.
Yeah.
So, like, they can't get it, he says. But, like,
Yeah.
Parvo ain't the only thing that can fuck your dog up and hurt it.
Yeah. It's a
Hell,
million
we
things.
had an hour and 22 already. Holy shit.
Yep. Yeah.
How long are we going today?
Let me see. We can go like 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. But,
Uh,
I mean, like, some of these things, like, I've stood back and kept my mouth shut, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to. You should.
yeah.
But at the same time, like, when you get out here speaking enough, you got to speak on some of these things. We're also trying to raise community standards along with doing some of this stuff. And by telling people, hey, that's not right, you know what I mean? You're changing the community standard. You're upping it. And do it in a correct way. Not like, hey, you suck, that ain't right. It's like, hey, man, you ever thought about it like this?
Yeah.
The way we present ourselves to each other is important, too.
Just make sure
Yep.
the same criticism that you kicking out, you can take in. You know?
Yep.
Seriously.
Oh, shit, I have all
If you
kinds
go,
of people tell me all the time, so.
I'm just saying, because a lot of people out here that have something to say, but then when somebody critiques them, they all in their feelings, you know? So
Well,
people
like,
gotta be,
it matters where the person's coming from, too. Like, if you own 1-2 dogs and you're giving somebody criticism that owns 30, that's kind of like,
it don't matter.
there's other dogs at the house too, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not just,
Yeah.
the only dogs I got at the show ain't the ones standing here.
Yeah,
There's other
but
dogs at the house.
at the same time, those are the dogs you decided to show. You see what
Yep.
I'm saying? So,
Yep.
you know, whether you got one dog or a million dogs, if you know what a good dog is, and you know what one look like, you got experience, Hey, you like what you like. Yeah.
So my brother told me something very important. He
What?
said, "Don't deal with people that don't have the same or more to lose than you do, right?
Right.
At least the same. And that way you don't deal with no bullshit." And since I've switched to that method, I don't deal with no bullshit. And that was advice
Right.
from my little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Most of the time, if at the position I am, if you ain't got a bunch of dogs, I'm not listening to you. Just to be
Right.
real, I want, I want because through time, right? There's different things we do now that we didn't have to do 20 years ago. My dad didn't even have to do it. Didn't even give it a thought. You know what I mean? But we have to do it now because I guess more. I don't know, more animals going around, taking them more places. That could be a factor for me. Taking them to all these shows and stuff,
Right.
uh, dealing with certain things. So, like, if I'm taking advice as far as what to do with my dogs from people, I want them to have a few dogs that live in at least similar to situations that my dogs do, because that way their advice is like valid to the lifestyle my dogs live. You know,
Right.
like that's why, like, say, keeping a dog inside. I would never give you any kind of advice on keeping a dog inside, you know what I mean? Because I don't do it. I never,
Right.
so I can't even give you advice. I don't know because, hell, there's things that you deal with that I probably haven't even gave a second thought. You know, like I don't
Right.
even think that, I don't even know that because I never have. But
Yeah.
so, like, that's why you'll hear me talk about chains and all this stuff that I
Yeah, you
do
talk
deal
about
with
what you
more than
know.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I try not to stray from what I know. That way I'm not talking out of my ass.
Right.
So that's one thing that's important. Like, because
Yeah, man. Yeah.
it's them. I mean, I don't know. Like, I've had a few dogs inside. Mason spent his fair share inside. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But like, I can't tell you a whole life story of a dog being inside only. You know,
Right.
Molly. But I haven't lived with my mom in the last 6 years,
Yeah.
7 years. So therefore, then I don't know. I haven't
Your
even
mother still
seen that
got
part of her
dogs?
story. Yeah, yeah. She's got a female.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's got Molly. She's semi-related to Mason, and that was the bitch I wanted to breed Mason to so bad.
What semi?
Um, on the bottom side, she's related to Mason.
Okay.
On his bottom side,
Yeah.
yeah, the top side's out. It was a different dog named Dozer, big
Yeah.
ADBA registered. He looked just like Mason, but he was huge. He was the
Yeah.
same color pattern as Mason and everything. But this dog was a fucking monster, just big. He made Mason look little,
Right.
but he was an ADBA registered. He was a beast. I almost took him, right? The guy had to get rid of him, and this was years ago. I almost took him, but I was like, nah, I'd hate to get him and like him and Mason get loose and, you know, kill one or the other. That sucks. So at the time, I was
Yeah.
like, nah, I ain't ready for it. So I just didn't get him.
Yeah.
This was before I had my dog yard set up. So Molly's 9 years old. So it was about 8.5 years ago.
Okay.
It was right about before I set my dog yard up. Me.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, I mean, that was like, there's things with the
Man.
dogs I've wanted to do I didn't get to do.
Yeah.
So that sucks. Because I don't know. I have an understanding of like what dogs would produce really good together. What, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Mason and Molly would have been. I would have been winning the walk line for the last few years if I could have done that.
Yeah.
Because that bitch was phenomenal.
Right.
I've seen her do 13 feet.
Hey,
Yeah.
you said that you were doing the flat mill race, right?
Yeah.
Did you have a flat mill?
No, I'm about to get one. I'm about to buy
So
one like y'all got.
you showed up to the flat mill race, and your dog had only had experience on the email, right?
He had been on a slat mill once before.
Okay. So
But yeah, he had only had
Did he?
like experience on an email.
Did he place?
Uh, I can't even really remember. I know that he ran a half mile. It was his first with all them people around standing there. And I mean that ain't super good. So there's a lot of dogs that be getting it up there. But I mean, it was his first time ever being on one like that. My old wood one is different.
Because I could have thought you. I thought you said he had got second place or something.
No. He only ran like a half mile.
Yeah, because
I think. Let me think back. Who got first and second?
You said it was a guy in your area who builds slab mills, who wins all the slab mill races, and you said no matter how many times you went up against him, you never beat him.
Nobody beat that guy. He was drugging them out and shit.
But I'm saying, so how many slab mill races did you do?
One. I only entered him into one.
Right.
And he placed. You know what I mean? But he didn't get like a first or second. He was in the contenders. Like if they would have, you know what I mean? That him running a certain amount puts him in the contenders. But then when they lap him so much, you know what I mean? Like that kicks him out of being able to like up there with the top guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Right. No, he didn't. I ain't never won no treadmill race. No second. None of that. I've not. That was my first time entering him in one. Any dog.
Okay. Well, if he plays. The point I was gonna get at anyway was if he had no experience on the slab mill and he plays, that's good.
Yeah.
kind of like
especially not
Dre with the wall climb. But no, because I could have sworn you had said he got second place or something like that, or at least I was under the impression you had said that. So I was about to say that's pretty impressive.
We're probably talking about what he placed in confirmation.
No, we were talking about slap mill, and you said it was an issue, some with the slap mill. I can't remember what it was, and I told you, elevate. That should be your focus. If he in your area and he run the town or the region, man, there you go.
Well, so some bullshit happened and he's not allowed to go anymore. So
right.
There's a dude, he does really good. His little female, like she does phenomenal. So as of right now, my little young ones are getting to the age where I can race them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
My offspring productions are getting to where I can race them, I can run them, I can wall climb them.
Yeah, man, you need to go ahead and jump in that slab mill game, man.
Yep. Because like mostly, so up until I got Jarvis, I own brood bitches, right? Bitches that I intended on making offspring to compete with. They're just now where their offspring are at the age where I can actually feel safe with competing with them. Like I'm not going to hurt them.
Right.
Because I mean, like I said, I don't mess with my dogs until they're a certain age. Like they figure out, they have to learn the daily routine, all that shit before I ever even put them in on work. And I have good results with my dogs doing that because they'll work. That shit's just in them. So like making sure they fit the lifestyle and everything before I put off and say, okay, here's a reason. Like say I'm making sure one fits the lifestyle, right?
Right.
But I'm working the shit out of it and it don't fit my lifestyle. Well then whoever gets that dog gets a dog that's not used to doing a whole lot of nothing. You know what I mean? They would have that would be a higher maintenance dog for whoever got it. So say I have a dog that don't make the cut as far as that goes by. And I mean there's dogs that have been placed, you know, with hog hunters and shit like that just didn't make the cut that I have worked. But I find it safer for me to place dogs that I haven't worked because when I start working them they get a little bit different. They turn into a different animal.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah, so like I was reading what Big C said. He said we only got 20 minutes. Can you bring Michonne out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna buy a slap mill just like y'all got. And whatever odometer y'all buy, I'm gonna buy the same one. You know what I mean? And like,
I'm about to get another one in the carpet mill. Come on, Michonne.
Are you gonna buy the same mill as you got right there?
I don't know. Let's go.
Cause,
What's up, girl?
so I
What's
want to
up,
buy
girl?
that one because y'all got it, and like,
Yeah.
say if we want to have a race, we got them on the same meal, even though they're different meals. They're
Uh-huh.
basically the same meal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the same odometer. That way,
Yeah.
it's more consistent. If we did that
Get
as
up
a
there.
community, like started getting them type of treadmills and just doing that, like it would be consistent enough to where, you know, we could
Yeah.
have good fair races,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Get up there. Huh.
everybody's too like
Get your butt
they're
up
not
there.
okay with the idea of them losing with their dog.
Yeah. Lay down.
You know what I mean? Like I grew
Yeah.
up I grew up with the mindset every dog has its day instilled in my head, right?
Right.
Like that is I understand that. So like it doesn't bother me to go out and compete and not win with my dogs. Like I don't give two shits. If they get
Yeah, no.
safe, that's all that
I,
matters.
yeah. I'm not
So
so I mean to each his own, man. If that's your whole goal, just to get out there and have the experience and have your dogs with you, if you that type of person, then it is what it is.
yep.
And it's also people showing up and ain't playing no games. They there
Mm-hmm.
for what they there for. They square business, and that's what it is. Now, if you showing up and you just bringing your dogs and they not in shape and you just showing them as is, then take pride in that, you
Right.
know, and enjoy the experience. But yeah,
Well, like
yeah,
whatever you do in life, it don't matter about all the other bullshit as long as you can do
yeah,
it with conviction. You know what I mean?
right,
Proud and conviction what you do. Every move you
right,
make, do it with conviction, and you'll be happy. All the other shit
yeah,
is just all the other shit's just icing on the cake.
yeah, man, it is, it is.
Cause like I mean,
Oh,
I've won a lot of shit. Uh,
right,
I've won like a whole lot of shit, but I don't talk about it too much because that's when the damn haters will come out. You know,
yeah,
this, that, and this. But like I've won top producer twice in a row. I've won best brindle, uh,
hmm,
best red once. Like I've won a bunch of shit. I've
right,
I've I've placed in my class in second or first every time.
uh-huh,
Uh, Mason's won multiple first places in his class. Uh, so but like I don't know that is just a plus for me. You know what I mean? I don't want to emphasize
yeah,
on that shit. That way, my
come on,
daughter only thinks that's what matters.
right,
So I've not really kind of, like she's going to these shows with me a lot more, especially if it's not hot, like the pig picking. She got
yeah,
sick at the pig picking, but I mean, I'm gonna try her again this year. She's a little older. She's used to
hmm,
playing like out in the heat, like at school and stuff. No shade around, because I know I went to that school. There ain't no damn shade nowhere at that school.
yeah, get up
It's
there,
down in the valley, and they ain't no shade nowhere. So like, I've kind of I'm kind of slowly introducing her, like me working Jarvis. She's been out here a
yeah,
bunch of times with me working Jarvis, and
ah,
she's asked me questions like, "Why are we doing this?" You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah,
"We're competing." Like I showed her the YouTube and stuff. Like we're trying to condition him for this. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I'm slowly. She's kind of getting to the state where she can understand that and why. So like,
yeah,
but I'm not trying to make it to where she only thinks that's what this is about. You know, like I've had her around litters of puppies a bunch of times. She's she's seen more puppies than most grown men have as of right now.
right, right,
So, like, I don't know. Me and Dre the other night, when we were talking, I think I've seen like 194 puppies be born in my lifetime
uh-huh, yeah.
that I had hand in them delivering them and
You
them
better
being
get
out
your
there.
notes there.
So
Yeah,
like, I just want her to understand like the competitive side. Like that's not why I love these dogs. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So like I don't want her to have that. Like that's all that matters. I
Hey,
see people in the dogs, and that's all that matters to them.
chill out.
Like old dude that was running the treadmill races. Like
Yeah,
his dog will win or die. You know what I mean? And ain't no,
yeah,
if he
yeah.
don't win, then he's fucking button finish. Like
Come here. Sorry, man. Hold on. Hold on.
Big C
Watch
said,
out.
she's so beautiful, man. Gotta update your
Appreciate it.
profile pic. She looks
Yeah.
amazing.
Get in there. Go. Come here. Come. Let's go.
Yeah, I
Get your
like it
butt in
too.
there. Yeah.
It was cool seeing her and Saki in person. It really was.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they
I
really
wish I
look
could have
good
seen
together,
Kazi in
man.
person too.
Huh?
I wish I could have seen Kamikaze in person too.
Oh man,
I love
Kamikaze.
I love her.
I
I don't know. I can just look at a
she
video and tell you I love that bitch.
she don't get the show she really deserves
Yes.
because Saki is such an awesome dog. You
Yes.
would you be like, man, but Kazi is something in her own right, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
Come on.
And
You
that
better
goes
not.
that goes
No.
back to I don't really know why I
Get up
like
there.
her. Something
Nope.
about my gut
Get your
feeling
butt
just
back.
tells me that right there's the bitch. You know what I mean?
Get up there.
She is the bitch.
Yeah.
I like her a lot. I like Michonne like that too. Like
Yeah.
I said, she reminds me of Molly. To me, Molly, if I say they remind me of
Okay.
Molly, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that bitch, I strive to produce dogs the quality of Molly.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You better
Like
not. Get your butt up there.
Molly's the all around bulldog, right? I got pictures of my daughter when she's 6 months old, laying on her on the couch, and Molly just laying
Yeah.
there with her and shit. Like, but then, like, she was playing in the yard one day. Nova was,
Uh-huh.
and Molly was laying underneath my stepdad's truck, and I was sitting on
Yeah.
the porch. And this stray dog come up like out of nowhere and like was growling at Nova, and as soon as it come out growling, Molly hit it like a rocket. Bam.
Yeah.
And I mean, she downed it and shook its brains out, and then my stepdad grabbed her, and when he grabbed her, it jumped up and went to run away, and she slipped out of his hands and hammered it again. Like
Yeah. Dead.
when I say like I
Dead.
strive to produce dogs
Dead.
like Molly, I mean it. That
Dead.
bitch, I wish I could have bred Mason her
Uh-uh.
bad.
Dead. No. Yeah. Dead. Shit, I'm dripping sweat on them, man. Shit.
I'm about to I'm about to have my hands on a bitch that's Buss and Bark and Pepe El Toro red dog.
Yeah. Good. Good.
I'm gonna
Dead.
cross Mason to her, and I'm gonna show the whole process, like on YouTube,
Yeah.
like of watching them grow up, how I'm gonna pick which ones I want to pick. I'll say, like, I usually keep it to myself which ones I'm picking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, I'll say it. You know what I mean? On this litter, I'm gonna keep this one and watch how it grows up. I'm gonna do that and just show the outcross on, really good.
Dead.
Because I have these litters off of them right now that are triple bred Mason, so I can show them as they grow up. I've showed them as you know what I mean, they're puppies.
Come on. Good.
All that stuff. So it'll be cool to have the comparisons. People see what a cross does versus just a straight up breeding.
Yeah. Out. Yeah.
It's important to show off stuff like that, especially with these
Sit.
families of dogs that are not the most common.
Stay. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I feel like that's important.
Come. Sit. Down.
Because, like, the general public, their idea of pit bull is the main couple of bloodlines, right? And I mean, there's different bloods. There's always been different bloods. So
yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of highlight one of the lesser seen ones
Mm-hmm.
bred together.
Yeah, man.
The Pepe El Toro stuff seems to be pretty popular right now.
Back. Yeah. Come on.
The bitch that we got down from it, I like her a lot.
Yeah.
I like her a whole lot. So I'm gonna try. That one might be Mason's last breeding overall. It's hard to decide, you know what I mean? Because he's still producing high numbers of good quality dogs. Why would change it up too much?
Yeah. Ready? Shake it, girl. Good,
but like
shake.
I bred Jarvis and I bred Judge. Like I've got Mercy's about to drop any day. That'll be the second litter off of Jarvis that I have on the ground at the same time.
Shake it.
So like I'm giving him a fair test. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Dirty Girl's an outcross, and Mercy is they'll be triple bred Mason.
Shake it, girl.
I'm just kind of giving both variables. Judge, I have to outcross him. So I can really get an idea of what he throws himself.
Yeah.
But Jarvis
Move.
is a little older than
Move.
Judge, so I got to hit that mark a little faster.
Yeah.
With time, I'll try it with Judge.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Move.
Oh,
Move.
hell yeah, we hit that 20-minute mark.
Yeah, yeah. Move. If you don't get your. Yeah, man.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
We got all kinds of things coming. The Digital Dog Show will air not this Saturday, but next.
Hmm.
Yep. And then there's $600 on the table. People's entered to win it.
600 plus.
Yeah, 600 plus. But people's entered to win it already. You know what I mean? Like it's the show is already in effect. We're gonna see here in 2 weeks what happens. The call outs, so we'll have to figure out how that's gonna be done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Anybody trying to get on the list for call outs for the next time? Hit me up on Facebook Messenger. I'm down. It can be completely
Yeah.
friendly, you know what I mean? I want it to be completely
Yeah.
friendly. Like we just compete, put them up next to each other, showcase both of our dogs.
Shake. Good. Yeah, man. You know what it is. And we got men at work coming up next.
Yep.
Yeah. You
Time
get
to
so
clock
what
in.
Oh, man. Ah,
I gotta
you
go
said
cut
what?
some more trees.
Out. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Cut some more trees, clear out the property a little better.
Sit. Sit.
It got in the
Yeah.
wintertime. I couldn't even do that shit. It was too cold. I'm telling you, it was just they called it a polar vortex.
Yeah.
So screw that shit. I don't ever want to deal with that again.
Right. Man.
Horrible.
Yeah, man. Come on. Put your butt inside. Come on. Let's go. And there she go. Yeah.
Appreciate everybody coming through. Big C, RBG Lone Wolf, all y'all brothers.
Yeah, man.
Young
Yeah.
fan, Canine.
Yeah, man. I
I didn't see
appreciate
you.
that,
Sorry
Big
about
C.
that.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's been another real one, man. Your boy Big A. God dog, boy, I'm over way out of shape. We're gonna get there one of these days, man. Try to hang with you youngsters, you know what I'm saying? Y'all youngsters, man. But nah, I ain't, I'm playing. I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm stay right where I'm at. But man, yeah, like I said, we got Men at Work coming up next. If y'all haven't seen that the Needy, man, go check that out, man, because it's going down. And like I said, got some more drama series coming your way, man. So look forward to that. It'll be sometime this week. And eventually I'm gonna get some of these actors on here, man, get some interviews and some new stuff working on. And we got some documentaries and some more stuff. So yeah, man, we just putting in work 24/7 around the clock, man. And salute to everybody in the chat that's out there grinding, man. Keep that grind going, man. Keep it going, man. And it really count with nobody looking. That's right.
Keep
Yeah.
them dogs in shape and entered in the Digital Dog Show.
We'll keep the dogs healthy first. And then, and spend time, man. That's all that really matters, man. Keep them healthy and spend time with your dogs, man. Everything else will fall into play, right? You know? That's yes, sir, man.
If you
But
do them few things, everything will follow through. The
yeah,
other things will
man.
show because you did that.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Because whoever you are and however you move, that's how you move. But the more time you spend with them dogs, man. Whew. Yeah. But
Yeah, it just makes them
yeah,
better.
yeah, man. So
I'm a big believer in practice makes perfect. So
yeah, consistency.
yep.
Consistency means everything at the end of the day, man. But if you ain't a member, man, go ahead and jump down and join this movement, man, of improvement. Yeah, yes, sir, man. Um, that's about it, man. Anything else elevated? How them pups coming along?
Oh, they're doing good. I'm gonna shoot a little update video here later. It's been raining every fucking day. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, it was raining the day I took my digital dog show pictures. I caught it like
Yeah,
a kind of a dry time, but I
yeah,
wish it wouldn't have. The day after they looked even better. I guess
yeah.
it didn't rain that next day,
Hmm.
and I was like, shit.
Yeah, man. Shoot, it's I got to go ahead and get ready for this man at work, man. But
Yes,
so
sir.
y'all go ahead and you know what it is, man. Stay tuned, man. You ain't got to go nowhere, man. We be right back. But other than that, man, I'm about to jump my funky ass in the shower. Oops, I cussed, man. I'm working on it. I'm about to go jump in the shower. Be back for minute work, man. All right. Yes, sir. All right. We out.
Yeah. Beat drop slow, head not flow. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sack it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Started with Boogeyman, ghost in the chain. Locked in the game, never moved for fame. Old mountain lions run deep in the flame. Sock about the fire, Michonne brought the name. Then came Fat Boy, muscle in the frame. Man, hard, put respect on the name. Shotgun smooth, but the work insane. Sugar sweet jit, but a bite ain't tame. Kiki in the back, had a game in the veins. Gatorade heavy, running straight through the rain. Red Ninja close, watch him work in the lane. Renegade rider can't hold that chain. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sock it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Ain't no luck, just grit and grind. Every dog here put work in time. Lady Rage got that fire in her eyes. Red alert taught us how to recognize signs. Blood heavy like a 2-ton chain. Everything proven, no need to explain. They asked what's in it, that yellow campaign. Built off real, we don't fake no strain. Second with the flame, Michonne lit the wick. If you know, then you know that line too slick. From the field to the show, every move so thick you can't blueprint this. It's the legacy pick. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Second from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die.